Fire in the hole!
Now, Bill, you got a back full of camera.
Here we go.
Good God!
My name is Charles Swan, and the thing I was saying actually was that I couldn't get tickets to Burning Man, which was what I was going to go to. So instead I decided that for my cultural kind of exploration of the year, I was going to come to this, the Big Sandy machine gun shoot. And the real reason for me is that it's, I recognize that there's a dichotomy, you know, like one of them is clearly this more like, what's the best way to say it? Not quite machismo culture, but it's about guns, and it's definitely the conservative side of America, whereas Burning Man tend to be the more liberal side of America. But to me, they're both just different cultures, and they're both cultures that are specifically looking for freedom, right? Like this culture, most of the equipment that they have now has to be gained through really onerous, like legal requirements. Whereas like in Burning Man, for people to do what they want to do, you know, if they're gonna like, to be honest, be on drugs or be naked, like that's illegal. And so they also have to kind of like skirt and avoid the laws by going out in the desert. And I think it's really interesting to see what happens when a culture decides that it wants to do something, even if the rest of society doesn't agree, and they just go off and do it. And that's kind of what I'm interested in seeing here, and that's why I came here.
Get some more!
Again, I think the biggest thing here people need to understand is the Second Amendment says the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Period. Our founding fathers were pretty smart. And in those days, the militia was the citizens. Everybody that was a hunter and a farmer and everything else and a trapper are the ones that showed up for the fight. So that's one of the things the only thing we have going for us is the Second Amendment. And again, I don't want to get political on that, but it's there. Shall not be infringed. We already got states that are doing it. They'll all go to court.
Restoration.
Well, it was about anti-socialism. I mean, we're headed down a socialist road in this country.
This is a Bushmaster AR-15 with a MagTech and a burst scope on it. Shoots 223 rounds.
And this is a semi-auto. It's got nothing to do with an assault weapon.
And here's the issue. If you ban this semi-auto,
you ban a hunting gun.
This one's next.
A
this
duck
is
gun.
a semi-auto shotgun. So aesthetically they're different, but internally they're the same.
Yeah.
This weapon is no more dangerous than this weapon is.
Just looks like it.
Socialism is trying to make everything equal, everything fair. Taking, it's basically trying to keep everything on an even keel. And when you have people that all want the same things, and some choose not to work for it, and some work very hard for it, but the result is the same, that's, to me, unfair, and that's kind of what socialism, that's what I believe it is.
Okay. This is an M1 Garand used in World War II by most of the troops. It's also used in Korea and even part of Vietnam. It's one of the finest old rifles ever built. I don't know what else to say.
Oh yeah, I was like, by the way, I voted for Obama, so that doesn't totally represent me. Like when it comes to the Republicans and the Democrats, like the Republicans are they are fiscally liberal and socially conservative. Like the worst of both possible worlds. Like in my opinion, what you really want is socially liberal, like the Democrats are, but also fiscally conservative so that we don't lose America because it went broke trying to fight these wars. Like all I care about is that like the country lets people do what they want and it just keeps its shit together. Like when I look at the debt and whatnot, I think that's totally a risk. And it's the worst kind of debt, right? Like the European countries have a bunch of debt because they've been nice to people. Like America has a bunch of debt because we've been blowing stuff up.
I don't know, to me it feels like I play a lot of football and I love football and I start and stuff, and for me it's like when you get out there in the field and you know like people get nervous and people like get excited or whatever, and to me like I get really excited when I do stuff. So like say when I like just get behind the gun or something, you know, like I get really excited and I just like want to pull the trigger, and it's just like I can't describe it. It's so just it's amazing, you know. You just like if you're safe and everything's fun, and like you gotta follow some rules, but everything it's just so fun, just blowing up stuff or whatever, you know, shooting at targets is like I said, I can't describe it. Like this is so amazing.
Well, I think it changes that everybody would like to see. Like to see the economy working better. I would like to see that the people that are committing criminal acts to be held accountable, and wherever they are, you know, people high up in government as well as the criminal who has money. I would like to see those people caught and punished, and I don't think that always happens in this country. I think in this country you can still buy your way out of things, and that should not be.
This is a AR-15 mid-length Smith & Wesson incorporated with Magpul, and there's a couple of local guys in Arizona that helped me do up some of this gun, but it's a home defense weapon, it's a hunting weapon, and it is not the horrible beast that everybody paints it out to be, and it's my weapon of choice. It's beautiful, it's a work of art at the same time, and it's a great gun.